Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. In today's video, I want to show you this medieval tavern that I've built, or you could also say this fantasy tavern that I've built, because I wasn't sure how to call it, like medieval tavern, like fantasy tavern, medieval fantasy. I don't know. I guess it's inspired by like the architecture of medieval builds, but at the same time, the main inspiration was like Dungeons and Dragons. Like I made this build with the concept of a D&D party in mind that meets the tavern, like classic the D&D party meets each other at the tavern kind of trope to start a D&D campaign. And there is like a little stage where the bard could play, and there is a bar area where someone could sit, and there are like separate tables, and somewhere there could be like some mysterious people with clues playing cards and stuff. And also it's not just a tavern, it's also an inn where you can stay overnight and have a sleep. And so and also on top of the D&D inspiration, I also took inspiration from just RPG games where you can like go to the tavern and go to all of the bedrooms and kind of raid all of the treasure that is in their rooms. I don't know, that's probably not the best thing to do in RPGs, but it's always tempting because there's loot, and loot is always tempting. So yeah, I was inspired by those RPGs also on video games and on tabletop. And so also in the rooms of the inn, I made every room so there would be a little chest at the end of the bed for the people to keep their stuff. So I thought that was a neat little nod to those RPG games, and I had a bunch of fun making this. The main part of the tavern is in the second story. When you go up the stairs, there is this like huge second story, and when you go in there, there's like the bar and stuff. So the second story is like the main area, whereas in the first story, it's actually not for like the people and the visitors of the tavern except for the bathroom. Also, I was kind of confused while building this because I wanted to make a public bathroom for the visitors of the tavern, but at the same time, I don't really know if they had something like public bathrooms in medieval times. So I made something reminiscent of like a modern public bathroom, but with medieval appliances, or like at least old looking appliances, because we don't really have like a medieval pack yet. That would be amazing. And so yeah, what I was saying was that in the first floor there is more of the stuff, so like the kitchen, and also there is a room to store all of the food, because this is a tavern, so they make food, so you need a lot of place to store that stuff. And so yeah, there's the kitchen, there is the food storage space, there is a like public bathroom, and there's also a bathroom for the innkeeper and the staff. And then a little bit further away on the lot, there is this beautiful little, I shouldn't call it beautiful, I've made it myself, but I think it's very cute and also a little bit beautiful, this little build on the side that is like kind of in the same style but still a little bit different. And this is like this super small build where the innkeeper lives, and I thought that was like very nice to have a story where it's the main thing is this public build, this tavern, but then also there's this little hut next to it where the innkeeper lives, and that has like a lot more personal touches. And I think the two went very well together on this lot. And then I separated them with a little river and also a little pond, and I think it all came together quite well in the end. And another thing that I tried to emulate here was that a lot of very old or medieval builds have the second floor or the second story be bigger than the first story, so that, for example, if they are all in a row in like a city street, it looks like they are tilting inwards from the street perspective. And I always thought that was so fun and so interesting, but I have never really managed to make it look good in The Sims, because in The Sims you can't have something overarch the floor before by like a little bit. It always needs to be a full tile, and that can look pretty weird very easily. But this time I tried my best to not make it look weird, to make it look good, and to make it make sense in a way. And so what I did was I made it overarch by like an entire tile, because you can't make it overarch by less than a tile. And then I added some columns on the like ground area to kind of act like supports and to make it look like it makes a lot more sense. And then when that was in place, I added this thing, I think it's called spandrels, that adds a little bit of interest and some, I don't know, some fun little details to the top bit of the whole area underneath. It's often also used in like porches and stuff. I hope you know what I'm talking about. And when I put in the spandrels, it all looked not out of place at all, but I wanted to take it one step further and add a lot more detail. And so I went in and I saw those supports from Cottage Living, I think, and they just looked amazing. They came in the exact same swatch as the columns that I was using. And so what I did is I placed them a lot like around, just to give the like corner where it just like goes off and is bigger than before, a little bit more of like a gradual like development with those things, so that it has like this rounded kind of transition over to the like bigger floor. And that was a bunch of fun. And then I took the tool mod and I made them all a little bit bigger, and then I thought having this like overarching bit did not look out of place anymore. But if you think it still looks out of place, if you like it, if you don't, if you've ever tried to make a medieval build in The Sims and tried to make this stuff where the second story is kind of overarching the one before, please let me know what your solution was and if you think I did a good job or where I could improve. Oh, and while we're already on the topic of comments and feedback, there are like two major, big, exciting things that I need your opinions on. So the first extremely exciting thing is that this channel has just hit 2,000 subscribers, which is massive, and I just want to send the biggest and warmest hugs out to you. I want to say thank you. I'm so honored and so thankful, and I hope you all know that. And yeah, so we hit this incredible milestone. We hit 2,000 subscribers, and now it's time to celebrate. The only problem being, I don't know how to celebrate this because like in the past for milestones, I've done shell challenges, but now I've already done a bunch of shell challenges. And I also know that there are a lot of shell challenges, I think, for Halloween going around, and I don't want to do another one if people are not interested. So yeah, I don't want to do too many shell challenges if people don't want them. So let me know if you were interested for a special like 2,000 subscriber shell. I don't know what I would do. Maybe I would try to hit like a 2,000 budget like already with like just the shell and maybe a little bit of landscaping or something, trying to get to 2,000 simoleons when uploading it and then seeing what people do with the slots. But yeah, for the 1,000 subscriber celebration, I made a hotel with 1,000 beds for like with space for 1,000 Sims to live in with their own separate bathrooms and spaces to eat and stuff. But that project was massive, and I think there's just like physically no way that I could double the size of that build. That was already like the maximum. I can't do a build for 2,000 Sims. I don't think that would work, which is very sad. I would like to continue that tradition, but I don't think it's going to work with bigger numbers. So yeah, please hit me up with ideas of what I could do to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. I also really want to, like, I went through my gallery recently, and what I would like to do is go through a lot of my very old builds, like my oldest gallery builds. I did this with my very oldest, but there are so many more, and to go through my oldest gallery builds and kind of renovate them, I think that would also be a fun idea. So yeah, I think that could also be combined with the 2,000 Simoleon renovation. I don't know. I have ideas, but I don't know how to feel about them. If you have ideas or if you have an opinion on the ideas that I have had already, please let me know in the comments. And the next super exciting thing that I want to talk to you about is that in the last week of October, I'm going to be part of Little Simsy's streaming squad to raise money for Able Gamers, which is such an exciting opportunity. And Able Gamers is such an incredible like charity who really does a lot to bring like the joy of gaming and just like the normality of being able to have gaming as a hobby to everyone, and like go out of their way to produce like custom controllers and all of these different incredible things to make gaming accessible to everyone, because everyone deserves to have like an outlet and to have a way to forget about reality for a while and just like dip into into a different world where there is like, you know, judgment, and it's just like you and the game that you like to play the way you want to play it. And I think gaming is so amazing, and it has helped me so much in like my development and in my life to just like be able to cope with so much things like bullying and just like all the crap, where gaming is just always that safe space. Like for example with Sims, always that safe space that you can go to kind of escape all of that and to forget about it for a while, which is super healthy. Of course, you shouldn't forget about your problems always, but with disabilities it's like different. Like you can't forget them, and it's not just like problems that go away. So especially for people with disabilities, it's I think so important that they can be able to escape into different worlds where, for example, they have like gliders and can fly around or do whatever they want. And yeah, so I really love the like able gamers and what they do, and I think it's such an important cause. And so that's why I joined the squad for the Spawn Together event to raise money for able gamers. And the streams that I'm going to do for that fundraiser are going to be on the 25th of October, on the 27th, 29th and 31st of October. So 4 streams that I'm going to do, 4 charity streams, and it's going to be my first ever charity stream, at least on the 25th. The ones after I've done one, but yeah, it's my first charity event that I'm taking part of, especially with streaming, and I'm very excited, but I'm also incredibly nervous because I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if people are going to be there and are going to be willing and able to give a little bit for able gamers, because I don't want to, I don't know, be a burden on anyone or ask too much. So yeah, I'm currently thinking in terms of like milestones and incentives, and yeah, so I'm very worried of like asking too much, but then I also want to prepare stretch goals so that if people like completely exceed my expectations, that I can still like give them something to look forward to and to show them how thankful I am for their support. So yeah, so I was currently having like $100 as like the big main milestone that I want to reach, and then have like $50 as like an in-between milestone, and then I want to have like stretch goals of like 150, 200, 250, and then maybe like 500 as like the crazy stretch goal, where I would have to do something crazy, but I have no ideas yet what I want to do for all of those milestones. So if you have any ideas of things that you would like me to do that work well as an incentives to reach those milestones, that would be incredible. And then also I've already thought of some things that I could do for people that like gift a little bit of money, like for example between between $1 and $9. It would be that I am going to buy like a white sweatshirt and some markers, and then I'm going to write the names of everyone that donates that amount on that shirt. And then between like 10 and 20, I wanted to give them the ability to change something about my build. Because it is the last week of October, I wanted to make like a very spooky kind of build, or maybe even a spooky village over the course of the 4 streams. So yeah, I thought it would be nice to give them the ability to change something about the build. For example, if people have like one item that they really like the massive microscope from Get to Work or something, I would have to incorporate this or give it its own little room or something. And then the next step above that, so like $20 to like $35, would be like delete the room that I'm currently working on. And then between like 35 and 50, I would maybe have to drink a shot, but I am not sure about that one yet, because I know that alcohol can be like a sensitive topic for some people, and I wouldn't want to trigger anyone, but I also don't know if anyone would even donate an amount of like $35 plus, so maybe I don't even have to worry about that. And with $50, I would do a custom build, like according to the wishes of that person, or from a specific inspiration picture, or like from a specific place that they want me to recreate, or recreate their home or whatever. Or if they aren't interested in the Sims at all, I would give them a custom painting of whatever they want, but like of course like a painting that I could do in maybe like 2 to 6 hours time, for example. But because this is my first charity event ever that I'm taking part of, I really don't know if those incentives or milestones are too high, if I'm expecting too much or if I'm even expecting too little. So I'm very, very like unsure about that one and need a lot of feedback to see like how many of you people, for example, would be able and willing and maybe even excited to join me on Twitch for the last week of October and would want to be there for the charity event, or which of you would maybe not be interested and wouldn't want to feel like the pressure of like people wanting to donate like money and stuff. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts, your feedback, what you think would be realistic for my size of the YouTube channel or Twitch channel. And yeah, I'm very unsure, but I'm super excited. That one is for sure, and I hope that you are excited too and that you can be excited with me. But yeah, so back to the build. I had so much fun again with like manipulating the terrain, and as I always do when I have these like different layers of terrain, I have this very special stone from Eco Lifestyle that I love to use to kind of surround that area and to give that nice effect of like different levels of landscaping. And yeah, so I used it again. I'm guilty. I have specific things that I like to do in building, and I think that work and give a nice effect. And this stone, using this stone to divide different levels of the landscaping is one of them. So I hope you don't have a problem with it. I think it turned out nice. And yeah, so the flowers that are decorated with around the pond and around everywhere were like white, yellow, and purple ones, and I thought that this combination worked quite well. And then I did a few special ones, like a few special things. So when it came to like the overgrowth of the tavern, like on the outside, like the ivy and stuff, I did something a little bit special. I didn't really use a lot of the like pre-made ivy and growth stuff. I used one of these bushes that we have, and I continuously raised it up a little bit more and kind of created this shape that wrapped around the different pillars. And I think it gave a very, very nice effect that I'm very happy with. And yeah, then I kind of rounded it up with the pre-made wisterias and the ivy. And another thing that I did was like to sprinkle a little bit something along there. I also made the roof texture look a little bit overgrown with one of the normal plants, just by sizing it down and raising it up and kind of decorating the roof with it. And I think it also helped the build feel a little bit older, make it look a little bit more weathered, and also give it more of that fantasy look. So I was also very happy with that. So I hope that you like the landscaping as well. And next up, I'm going to show you the interior that I've built. I hope you're going to like it. So but for now, that's the end of the speed build portion. So I really, really hope that you liked and enjoyed this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy. Thank you so much also for watching this video all the way to like my end thank yous. I'm currently like just like 1,000 of the 4,000 hours needed short of becoming a YouTube partner. So for all of you like spending time with me, giving me those precious watch hours, I thank you so much, and you really helped me achieving my dream, which I can't thank you enough for. So yeah, thank you for the watch hours. I appreciate it. It's the best gift that you can give me. And yeah, where was I? Okay, yeah, so thank you so much. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy, and I hope we'll see each other again. And I also hope that you're going to like the tour.